Hi everyone, it's Vicky here and today I'll be making a card using the SSS Stamp February card kit. So I've cut down this red pattern paper, which is slightly smaller than my card base, and I'm looking through the supplies of the card kit for the vellum cardstock. This is heavy vellum and actually is great for embossing, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stamp my sentiment using white embossing powder. The stamp set that I'm using is also included in the kit, as well as all the patterned papers and the vellum. And while I'm doing that, just to let you know that Simon Says Stamp is generous enough to give away one of these February card kits through my blog. So make sure you go to my blog and enter your details. You can find a link to my blog just below the video if you are watching on YouTube. For my sentiment, I combined two of the stamps from this stamp set. The one says you are and the other one says loved. Now, just to make sure that the one isn't stamped over the other, since I'm only using Versa marking and I can't really see what I'm doing, I added the embossing powder on the first stamped image, and now I'm adding the embossing powder on the second one. Just to make sure that your vellum isn't curved too much while applying the heat, make sure that your heat gun is very warm before applying on top of the vellum. As you can see here, I have a minimum or almost not at all curving on my vellum. After heat setting the embossing powder, I've cut down a strip of vellum with my sentiment on it, and now I'm just going to stick it around my pink pattern paper. I had a strip of another pattern paper there that I was thinking of gluing, but as you can see later on, I haven't used that. I've wrapped the vellum around my pattern paper and added just a bit of glue on the back. Now I'm using these hearts, which are exclusive Simon Says Stamp dies, and I'm going to cut them out using my cuttle bag. And since I'm going to pass it through my cuttle bag, I decided to add the vellum also. And I'm going to use both the pattern paper and the vellum hearts on my card. And before I go on assembling my card, I decided I wanted to add some faux stitching around my pink piece of pattern paper there. So I'm going to use a stamp that was included in last month's card kit, and that's just some dash lines. So I'm using again my Versa marking, and I'm going to stamp it across the sides, and I'll go ahead and use my embossing powder and heat set it. You could also go ahead and use a white gel pen, as I usually do, and add those faux stitching lines, but since I had this stamp, I wanted to use it, and actually the result is perfect. And once the faux stitching was ready, I put back on the vellum strip. And now it's time to assemble the card, and the idea here is to add the vellum hearts at the bottom and actually raised using foam squares. What I'm doing here is adding the foam squares, where later on I'm going to add the paper hearts, and that's how I'm going to hide all those tiny foam squares. And now that all the hearts are in place, it's time to add, to stick this piece on top of my card base. I've used my 80G gun there, and as you can see here, just because the pink pattern paper is slightly smaller than my card base, it leaves a nice border that actually frames the card. And that's floss. I'm just going to tie a bow there. And once the bow is in place, I'm using a glossy accent and adding a bit of glossy accent on that scrap paper. And now I'm going to use those tiny little sequins, and I'm just using my tool there, touching the glossy accent and then sticking them on top of my card. The idea is to add some sparkle on the card here and there. And now that I look at the card again, I had the feeling that this vellum strip wasn't straight. And don't try this at home. I'm lifting the pattern paper with success, I have to say. And after straightening the vellum, I had the idea to add the brand on top of that bow. And that finishes the card for today. I hope you had fun and got inspired. Don't forget to visit my blog and enter the giveaway. Thanks for watching.